there, I'm Kaylane. Disregard these little Pocahontas pieces here. I'm presenting you with Greenleaf, and y'all, it was not what I was expecting at all. Let me get into it. This is gonna be a little chopped and screwed because I forgot to bring my iPad, which has my notes, so I'm gonna have to keep going back to my phone for the notes, but bear with me. We start off with where we left off last week. Grace is zooming through these streets trying to get to Mac, and I'm like, what are you gonna do when you get there? What is your plan? Grace keeps running off with no plan whatsoever, and I'm like, sis, you gotta have, you know, something. You have to have an idea of what you're gonna do when you get there. But she doesn't. So she's zooming through the streets. I looked away for a second, and Grace had run into a tree. My mama said there was a deer, and I was like, I didn't even see no deer. Just all of a sudden, baby girl was smooth into a tree, and I'm like, thank God for seatbelts, because, you know, when I'm crazy, because I am crazy, when I'm doing crazy stuff like running off on the plug twice, I don't think to put my seatbelt on. But Grace had the wherewithal in her moment of insanity to put her seatbelt on. So the wreck actually wasn't, I mean, the car is totaled, but Grace is not totaled, aside from her mind, because she is gone. Baby girl is gone. Do you hear me? So for some reason she calls Rick Fox instead of the police to let him know that she's been in a car accident, and I'm like, you ain't call 911? But apparently Rick calls 911, or she calls 911 after she called Rick, because the next scene we see Rick kind of consoling her. She's got, you know, the blanket over her shoulders, and they're looking at the damage, the wreck, and all of that, and the police and the tow truck, all of that's out there. Rick Fox takes her home, and he's looking around the house like, I can't believe, and I'm like, I can't believe either. Honestly, if you think about how big this house must be for Kevin and Charity to have a wing, Grace and Sophia have a wing, Jacob, Carissa, Zora, and Tinky Winky, Dipsy La La Po, they have a wing, Bishop has a wing, and Faith, when she was living, had a wing, and she still, I mean, they're boxed up in her section of the house. When you think about that, the house gotta be huge. Like, how big is this house? I need a tour. And then Aaron has a wing too. Like, oh no, Aaron has Jacob's own wing. So, but still, I want Lady May to take me on a tour of the home, of the chateau. Just, I can't believe. I'm really hyped because this episode was lit. But where we go from this? Rick Fox brings Grace home, and father and mother, Bishop and Lady, are giving fever. But one thing I noticed was Lady May was actually genuinely worried about her daughter. And I paused it for a moment and told my mama, as Rick was bringing her home, I pressed pause and said, I would like for this moment to be a moment where Lady May realizes she could have lost another daughter, and then they kind of bond, and then I pressed play. And she was like, oh my goodness, you know, where have you been? What's going on? Are you okay? You know, she was giving that. And I was like, okay, so we're on the track, the right track towards them having a relationship. Better than, you know, what they gave us last week, which is, you know, what have you ever been through? Well, I guess I've never been through anything. Like, we don't have to butt heads. Let's come together right now over me. Anyway, if you are new to my channel, first of all, thank you for being here. Second of all, thank you to everyone who is, you know, subscribed to me. Like, this is really dope. I'm enjoying myself, and I hope y'all are enjoying yourselves. But if you are new to me, then you are just now finding out. I sing because I'm happy. I sing all the time, so you're gonna have to excuse me. But anyway, Lady May is like, oh my goodness, where you been? What's going on? Sophia is giving very much like I give my mother, you know, this is my child, even though this is my mom. And I was telling my mama, it's just a thing with single mothers and daughters. Like, my mama bosses her mama. She grew up, you know, as a single mother-daughter household. I grew up single mother-daughter household. So I boss my mama. I am beating her up right now because she's got a cough and she won't go to the doctor. And so I'm just like, you need to take medication at all times. And she's upset about it. But whatever. So Sophia is giving, you know, lecture after they ice Rick Fox out, and, you know, are giving, that's all. They gave that's all, like, what's mama's name on The Devil Wears Prada? What was her name? Miranda something. Priestley. Is it Miranda Priestley? Or is that somebody else? I may be just on a whole nother movie. Anyway, Lady May gave that's all, and Sophia walks Rick Fox out, and then she comes back and she's like, where have you been? And Grace is giving, you know, forlorn, scolded child. And Sophia's like, if you were driving and you swerved and you hit a deer and you totaled the car, that means you were going too fast. I'm just like, she sounds just like me. But anyway, after all that lecturing and all of that, we move over to Kevin and Charity. Or not Kevin and Charity. Charity and baby Kevin. What's his name, y'all? Nathan? I think it's Nathan. I'm trying to do better with these names. So she's giving, you know, Jennifer Hudson, ain't no one gonna love you like I'm gonna love you. Like she's giving that. Why's my, look like I got a bruise. We're gonna let it rock. I'm developing a dimple chin like my mama. And Sophia Greenleaf. Whatever, is her last name Greenleaf? I don't care, y'all don't care. Anyway, so she's giving, you know, you gonna wish, like my grandmother does, you gonna wish you had these days when you older. And I'm just like, let him be a baby. Let him live. Don't remind him that he got to grow up and be a black man in America. Don't remind him right now. But she's giving all of that. And this is where my memory fades, so I got to look at my notes and come right back. Hold on. Okay, so Jabari, you know, zesty homosexual Jabari calls Charity and is like, I know it's short notice, but can you come to Nashville tomorrow? And she's like, I'm going to try. And I'm just like, I don't understand her having to be at the place. Because, I mean, you can write songs over FaceTime. I don't know why she has to physically be in Nashville for this. But whatever, though. So, and I'm thinking, is Aaron from Nashville, too? Aaron and Jabari both from Nashville. Is there some sort of a... Did they go together back in the day? I feel like we're going to find out that Aaron and Jabari are, like, ex-partners or something like that. Because at Nashville, there are other places. There's Murfreesboro, in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. There are other places in Tennessee. But you know, connection. Speaking of Aaron, we gonna get there. I'm running off on the plug, but she says she's gonna try to make it, and I'm just like, where's the FaceTime? We swoop over to Jacob and Carissa. Apparently, Jacob has told Carissa about the poker, and she is not pleased. She's like, I should have said something when I found that $100. And again, I'm like, y'all don't have $100 to spare. Y'all just don't have $100. But then I found out they do have $100. We'll get down to it in a little bit, but. She's like, you know, upset and how dare this shiesty nigga do these shiesty things. And I'm just like, y'all knew the man was slimy from, you know, the beginning. He looks like a slug. Why is you tripping for? And what else? I don't even remember what. Oh, we swoop over to Bishop, not Bishop Jesus. We're not gonna ordain this man. We switch over to Mac, Uncle Creepy Mac, as Lady Nika calls him, and Lorraine Motel. Where I was gonna say Bishop again. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was not laid to rest, but laid to death over at the Lorraine Motel. If y'all didn't know that, I'm sure you did. I'm sidetracking because my brain is bouncing all over the place because this episode was wild. But so where am I? Who am I? Mac and Lorraine. Mac's phone goes off again. Lorraine is giving, who's that? And I'm like, if you gotta keep checking your nigga and finding out who he's talking to, that don't need to be your nigga. If you gotta ask every time, it does not have to be your nigga. Find you somebody else whose phone don't ring ever. My phone don't ever ring, but I don't want to date Lorraine. That's just, I don't need that in my life. But find you somebody whose phone don't ever ring. If you so upset, the problem is she feels something in her spirit about Mac. And it's like, girl, if you, I told my mama, she may feel something because she may be in this relationship because she feels something, and she may be a plant. You know, she may be put here by somebody because she said, you know, I knew all about, you know, what they were saying about you before we met, and I still took a chance. And he's like, well, thank goodness you took me at face value. And I'm like, can we flash back to when they met? I want to see how they met, how they fell in love, and how they ended up living together, because it doesn't make sense to me. I'm thinking maybe she's a plant. Maybe one of the girls that he molested was like her niece, her daughter, something like that, and he doesn't know her. And so she's in the relationship to try to get dirt and try to prosecute this man. Maybe it's something like that, because I don't understand Lorraine at all. Like, at all. But his phone goes off again, and he says it's Sophia again. I'm just like, why are you lying on Sophia? This is what gets him caught up at the end. We're going to get there. But he says it's Sophia, and, you know, says that, again, that she knows her mama ain't right, and, you know, she wasn't born last night. She know these hoes ain't right. And all of that. And Lorraine is like, what kind of niece contacts her uncle every day? And I'm like, there you go, Lorraine, with your intuition. Carrie Hilson wrote a whole song called Intuition. I got this crazy feeling I'm going to be single again, is what she said. Lorraine, you had that crazy feeling because Lorraine, we'll get there, but Lorraine is single as of today. So she's like, what kind of uncle and aunt, what uncle and niece have this kind of relationship? And I'm like, there you go. There you go. There, as a Django Calvin, there you go. There you go. Like, there you go. That should be your cue to leave right there. But whatever. Let me pop back and look at the notes and get a little more information and come back. So Michaela asked for a place to live, basically. My mom is schizo and she swung on me and da-da-da-da-da, and can I stay with you? I just need a place to stay. And he's telling her, I'm gonna need you to stop calling me. And she can't, she's shook by this, because this has never happened before. But we get back over to Grace and she's giving forlorn teas, and then we switch over to Jacob and Pastor Skanks. He's in his office doing aerobics before service. He's doing jumping jacks and Tae-Bo. Do the girls still do Tae-Bo? He's doing Tae-Bo and all of that. And he's like, I got to get pumped up. And then he says, we getting skanktified. He said that, I believe he said that over the mic to the saints. And he's in the sermon, you know, in service, giving his sermon, talking about, if you're in sin, just say it, I'm in sin. And the whole church was hollering, I'm in sin. And I'm like, so none of y'all niggas saved? None of you? Because if y'all holler, just say it, I'm in sin, at my home church, the girls would be like, did you see Deborah back there? She whispered that she was in sin, and how very it is. Deborah, go to the altar right now. Like, any of the 2 churches that my family are attached to, if you would have said, just say it, I'm in sin, a hush would have fell over the room. Like, in the whole church, I'm in sin. And I'm like, y'all niggas ain't saved. No way, no how. But Jacob was sitting over there looking shook, dazed and confused and shocked. And I'm like, Jacob, you already knew. Y'all knew this nigga was slimy from the beginning. Why are you shook? And then he goes into, you know, dig deep in your pockets and, you know, give the Lord all your money. You don't have to pay your rent this month. Give us that money. And I'm like, dang. He didn't actually say that, but it was basically the gist. And they passing around the collection plate. And a couple of the girls were not giving, okay? That man had the plate, and this homegirl was talking to other homegirls. She did not look at the plate. She did not reach into her purse. She did not. She was not. We swooped back over to Calvary. Bishop is preaching, and he wasn't trembling at all. And I was like, praise God, this medicine is working out. Grace is sitting there giving Tina Turner teas. If you've seen What's Love Got to Do with It, you recall when Tina Turner was sitting there looking lost and she had that lipstick and she was all up here with it. That's what Grace was looking like. She was looking like Sophia in The Color Purple after she didn't come home, before the laughter. It's like, girl, are you okay? And then she kind of shook out of it when Bishop was telling everybody to say amen, and she gave, you know, a weak amen. And I'm like, dang, she is going through it. We swooped back over to Triumph and church is over. Zora asked, can she go to the studio with Isaiah? And her parents tell her, go ahead. And I'm like, when did we start liking Isaiah so much? Like, because I never did. But whatever. She goes off to the studio. And as she's leaving, whatever, Jacob and Carissa are having a conversation in front of little Tinky Winky Dipsy La La Po. And I turned to my mother, I wish this truck, why does this truck always appear? Much like wasps, this truck always appears when I'm doing a video and it wants to be loud. And I'm like, shut your mouth. Speaking of wasps, side note, I'm sorry, I know I'm doing a lot of rabbit holes as Thick Chick Vlogs and random TV reviews say, but Zora, her actual name is Lovey Simone. I believe it was her mom tagged her in one of my videos that was not even related to Greenleaf. I posted a video on Instagram of me running from wasps, because if y'all watch these videos regularly, you know a wasp is always coming in my direction. And Zora's mom, or Lovey's mom, tagged her in the video and said, this is you, and Lovey liked it. And on one of my The Quiet videos on Instagram, Madison Frights, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, but white roommate on The Quiet, she liked one of my videos. So I'm like, oh, I'm moving up in the world. Side note, but what was, oh, Tinky Winky. They were talking to friend Tinky Winky about how Pastor ain't saved and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, this is grown folks conversation. This little boy don't need to be involved in none of this. But whatever. So we swoop back over to Calvary. It's a lot of back and forth. Sophia has a lamb. Her and her boyfriend have a lamb, and I'm like, I thought your boyfriend went to Triumph, but okay, he's at Calvary and they have a lamb, and she was teaching the little saints today, and the lamb was precious, and Grace, you know, felt rejuvenated by this lamb, and you could see her personality kind of come back, and Sophia was giving, you know, how are you feeling today? And she was like, I'm doing all right, I'm better. And that's as far as my memory goes. I'm gonna come right back. So this is when it starts getting juicy. Charity goes up to Kevin, asks him, can she go to Nashville? He says, yeah, I guess so. I don't really have anywhere to stay. I'm still at the hotel, but I mean, no, he says, I don't have nowhere. You know, he was starting to say no. And then she, after saying, I don't have a place to stay, I'm still at the hotel, she said, oh, we'll stay at the house. His little gay mind, Kevin's homosexual brain said, stay at the house. And he said, no, you know what? That'll work for me. So he's staying at the house now. Uh-oh. But, dang, I lost it that fast. Oh, okay. We swooped back over to Uncle Mac. I think this is where we are. We swooped back over to Uncle Mac, and Deputy Mayor because Jacob last week or the week before told him, do not hire this man or I will kill you. So Deputy Mayor calls Mac and says, I cannot hire you. I don't want to be a part of this. You are ugly and your breath stink. And then he hangs up. So Mac then goes into a rage. And Lorraine in the background, as usual, who was that? Mac said, none of your business. She's like, excuse me? He goes off into calling her a dirty, rotten, nasty, vile, gutter snipe, a bargain basement Walmart employee. Like, he read her for blood. And then she goes into, don't do this. Don't do this. No, please. And I'm like, this nigga has called you rotten. He has called you bargain brand, off brand, and all of this, and you're crying. You're crying not because he called you that, but because he's breaking up with you. Lorraine, you so he essentially tells her, get out. You know, I hate you, get out. She goes on about her business. He gets drunk and calls Michaela back and says, yeah, come on over. I worked it out. You can stay with me. Michaela's an idiot. She is so stupid. And I don't want to say this about the girl because of the things that will go down in a moment, but she is dumb, and we'll get there in a minute. But let me go back. This is why I need my notes, because I can't remember everything was happening, and I'll be right back. Rashawn Fagan is in the studio giving, you know, hip-hop, gospel, and, you know, I'm gonna praise him anyway. I don't care, you know, this, that. I can't remember the song. But there's a brick by brick line in the song, and he asks Zora, what did you think of the song? And she's like, oh yeah, it was dope, but I think on that brick by brick part you were a little flat. A hush fell over the room, and I'm like, uh-oh, what did she did? What happened? And I'm thinking, my mind automatically goes to Chris Brown. No shade to Chris Brown. Well, shut your mouth. Shut your freaking mouths. How they hollering? Didn't your mama raise you? So my mind automatically goes to Chris Brown. Y'all need to put a hat on this baby's head. It is cold and raining. I can't be bothered. I cannot be bothered today. Where am I? Okay, so he comes out and he gives Zora, can I talk to you for a minute? Pulls her out into the hallway, but not very far because everybody can hear what's going on. And he gives, when I ask you what you think of the song, you loved it. Either you say you loved it or you shut your doggone mouth. And she's like, I can't believe. And then she's giving like sad but shocked. And then she dials the number, and I was surprised that she called. I thought she was gonna sit there and take it, but she called Sophia to come pick her up. And I'm gonna finish this out. Sophia comes to get her. She gets lost. It takes her a long time to come get her, and yada yada yada. And while Sophia is coming to get her, she's supposed to be having dinner with Rick Fox and Grace. So while that's happening, you know, they're sitting at dinner and they looking for, you know, where's my child? And her phone died, so she's not answering the phone, this, that, and the other. And that's going to build up to something. But I think I'm missing something in between. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Jake proposes to Skanks that they pay for the church. And Skanks is like, have you lost your mind? And they go into you delusional, no, you delusional. And he asks where Jacob plans to get the money. And Jacob says, we have it. It was a wedding present. And this is where I'm like, okay, so y'all do have at least $100. Why is Carissa so shook by a $100 bill being on the floor? But whatever. But yeah, he wants to pay for the church and have Basie walk, you know, away from it, you know, free and clear. But Basie's not that kind of dude. So it looks like that's not what's gonna happen. And again, Sophia's missing from dinner. Let me see how much time I got. Ooh, I don't have any time. Sophia's missing from dinner. She goes to okay, y'all already heard. She went to pick up Zora. Fast forward. Grace's phone rings. He's drunk. He's doing the most. Her phone rings and she picks it up because it's Mac. And she's like, nigga, what do you want? And he's like, you should have left it alone. And he's drunk. And he keeps saying, you should have left it alone. She keeps asking, where's Sophia? Because Sophia's not available right now. She's not at dinner. And basically he's like, you should have left it alone. She runs over to Rick Fox and says, I'm so sorry. I gotta go. Runs off, you know, gets in her car, speeding over to Mac's house. I feel like there's something else in between here. I don't want to get to this part yet because it's so lit. I forgot this part. This is a big part. Okay, so Michaela was at the house. This is before Matt calls Grace. Michaela was at the house. They were watching a movie, you know, drinking. I told my mama, he's about to give this young lady libations. And my mama's like, no, surely not. And then he gave the woman, the little girl, libations. And my mom was like, oh, Lord, libations, help us. So she knocked out sleep. He caresses her hair, starts kissing her booty. Just like, then goes for her button or her belt or whatever. And speaking of, let me get back. Aaron and Jacob have a moment. They kiss. They making out. They going for belt buckles. We're not sure how far it got. They were just doing a lot. But okay. I had to get that out the way. We knew that was coming though. Mac is trying it with this girl. She asks him, she tells him to get off, get off, get off. He doesn't get off. She bites him, runs out, she gathers her things. I'm like, hey, you got time to gather your things? Gather her things and runs out the door. This is when he calls Grace. So Grace is driving, trying to get there. Where's Sophia? She busts in the house. Where's Sophia? Pushes him. Where's Sophia? He grabs her, throws her up against the wall, slinging her around, DDTs her back into the coffee table, busts her in the head with a bottle. I'm like, God, dog, this was too much. I'm hollering. Me and my mama just, oh, geez, oh, Lord, no. Like, we are hollering. And so he's choking her out, and he's like, everything they got, they wanted, or something like that. Mama grabs a bottle, the bottle that he beat her upside the head with, I guess, stabs this nigga in the jugular. And I'm like, ooh, I was hollering. I screamed. I just was not ready. He starts bleeding out. He laying on the floor holding his neck and is saying, call the ambulance. And she's saying, where's Sophia? And then it goes off. I feel like I missed something, but I had to get there. That was so, oh my God, y'all. Oh my God, Oprah. You approved this drama? It was just so, oh my God. I'm hollering. I think that covers everything. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm still shook. Like, oh my God. Like, comment, and subscribe. All the information's down below. Matea's GoFundMe is down there as usual. Thank you so much to everybody who has followed, subscribed, like my stuff on Instagram, Facebook, all of that. Thank you so much. I'm gonna try to come back today with a couple more videos. So, peace.